Please put your hands together for Mr. Rich DuPont.
So I have Asperger syndrome. For those of you who don't know what that is, basically it's the mildest form of being a retard. We're a very tight-knit group, just like your street gangs. You know, we have a gang sign. You know about that RN retard nation, yo? The Bulldogs out in Fresno had a vocal gang sign. They used to bark at people. You know, we have one of those ourselves, but it's in code. I'm sure you've all heard, I like to call them retardisms, but I'm sure you've heard this retard noise. And that stands for, we ride retard, we die retard. You know, all the gangsters like to put hydraulics on their cars to make them bounce while they drive. Well, most of us are worse drivers than the elderly, so we sort of developed a hydraulic walk. We kind of bounce when we take steps. You know, obviously walking, not in place. What do retards and animals at the zoo have in common? Okay. They're both entertainment for quote-unquote normal people. Being a retard is like being a superhero with not-so-super powers. All 5 of my senses are hypersensitive, so I got these on. All 5 of my senses are hypersensitive, but I don't have like X-ray vision or anything like that, so it's kind of worthless. Supposedly, we have 10 times the strength of the typical man. Every time I've tried to hone this, though, progressively, I've always badly injured myself. What does someone do when they find out that they have 10 times the strength of the typical, you may ask? Of course, challenge 9 guys to a fight. The shit kicked out of me. Recently, I found out I have bipolar as well. But that's not the biggest news I heard this week. I found out that my girlfriend's a whore. Because she sleeps with my 4 other personalities. I don't have a problem with the whores, though. It's like the wind. They're guaranteed to blow. When I get manic in my head, I'm bisexual. But I'm so ridiculous at the time that in reality, I'm actually trisexual. I mean, I try to get sex, but you know, never let I like to go camping with friends out in the woods. I like to go fishing, hunting, hiking. But my favorite thing to do while camping is definitely gay anal sex. We're gonna have to get a new mascot for Valentine's Day. Read in the newspaper yesterday that Cupid was arrested. They found out how he was making people fall in love. Ecstasy in the arrow tips. When I was little, my dad always used to tell me that I could grow up to be whatever I wanted. So ever since then, I've had a few lifelong dreams. I want to pose nude in Playboy. I want to be the first person to masturbate on the moon. And I I want to be the first person to get high off smoking moon rocks. Whenever someone calls me a son of a bitch, I'm always really intrigued. So I always have to ask, how do you know my mother's a bitch? Took you a minute there, didn't it? Anyone who knows me knows I love to get high. So I collect ladders. I had a horrible cough a few days ago, and I like to find creative solutions to problems. So I thought to myself, what would a doctor recommend for a cough back in 1910? Of course, the most effective cough suppressant known to man still used today, heroin. I miss being a child. When you were a child, you could use your imagination to experience anything, like being a superhero, trying to save the world. Recently, me and my friends have found a way to relive this childhood magic of feeling like you could be a superhero who can do anything. PCP. They say Red Bull gives you wings. No. PCP gives you wings. I've heard the phrase, you can get a lot higher from life than you can from drugs. I feel bad for those people, because you can get a lot higher from drugs. Probably seems like I abuse a lot of drugs. I really like to stay clean though, so I take a lot of showers. Honestly though, I have stopped abusing drugs on Mondays. So I broke my arm a few months ago, and when I got out of the hospital, I went directly to a church. Went in one of the pews, kneeled down, and with tears coming down my face, I prayed that even with a broken arm, I could still summon the strength to light my crack pipe. I just completed AA's 12-step program, and now I'm on the 13th step, back to drinking. All right, that was it, thank you.
Guy's got bipolar and Asperger's, and he's got a slutty girlfriend. I'm single. What the fuck?